Alrighty. Good morning, folks. Happy weekend, at least to me. It's cold outside, so we're gonna probably do a lot of indoor stuff today just to minimize how much we have to go out. I think it's something like a 18-degree wind chill right now, so no thank you. Um, so trying to finish out these last few workouts to finish out this whole cycle and then get into the next one has been awfully slow for me, and I do blame the weather in part. Um, but at the same time, I've also been like really frustrated with these last few things because like my deadlift has just sucked again. Even with the straps on, like I can't even move weight that I used to be able to move, and I can't fully blame the weight loss because I really have like, did I cut my calories again? Yes. But I also recognize that my general like activity level has also decreased. So, like, sure, I've lost about 2 pounds now since I've cut my calories again. But I'm like, hey, 2 pounds shouldn't mean I've lost like 20 pounds off of my deadlift or like that I can't move the bar at all. So that's been kind of frustrating. But we're technically done with all of our planned workouts, and now we have our one rep max, like our maximum testings again. Tomorrow's plan is squats and rows to confirm the testing. So the hope is I should still be able to squat 315 by 3. If not, okay, we just work on squats again. The hope is I can row 225 for 3 reps again. But even rows were a struggle for me not too long ago. So that's going to be something we work on today is can I get my whole back to really like engage, because that was one of the struggles I was having with this deadlift without straps was I only got one set via mixed grip to get it to 5 reps, and that was with like full on back engagement. So that's going to be probably what a good chunk of what we work on today is just one, squat and squat mobility, mid back engagement during my deadlift, and row, so that maybe I'm a little more successful in this retest phase, because it's really disappointing to me that like I feel like I've done all this work and that I just falter right at the finish line, as it were. If I had lost 10 pounds and I lost the strength, sure, but I've lost two. Like my weight would vary between 195 to 200, 196 to 200. I'm like, I've lost 4 pounds. You're telling me that I've lost like 10 to 20 pounds of strength? That kind of sucks. So, like I said, today's going to be a little more of a play around day. Um, I'm just trying to make sure that my squat mobility feels good for tomorrow. We'll see how the row and deadlift kind of back engagement feels, so that hopefully over the next coming days, um, over this retest, I can feel a little better. So I don't know how long I'm going to end up working out for, but let's get into it. Right, like I did find out that at least through mixed grip, I have this tendency to pull right. So I guess I cannot. For whatever reason, I'm struggling to kind of push evenly with both legs. So let's see here. That's a 35 pounds about here. Alright, so the mobility at this weight feels good. Still feeling good. Catch my breath real quick, because we're going from 35 to 45 to 70, and that is a decently large jump. Hey. mental like psych up. Yeah, cold weather, current events, kind of bogging me down. And that I did see a social media post where it's like, oh, men who are 15 to 20 pounds overweight are generally like a little happier because they're a little more carefree. Like they have the mental, you know, I'm like, yeah, like they have the little extra energy to kind of deal with life. So going through this calorie deficit has not been a pleasant process. Let's just go with that. Work's kicking my, and again, it's just like I feel like work's kicking my butt, the weather's kicking my butt. Bleh. Okay. All right. So all in all, my squat mobility feels pretty good for what I'll need tomorrow. So we're gonna take a look at kind of that back engagement for rows and deadlifts. Let's bring this guy over. What do we got here? We got 20 pounds. Let's see here. So with the weight going down, I have a scale that attaches to an app that does like, you know, the general reading. That's like what my body fat percentage is versus like muscle mass is. So, perfect world. I need to put on about 5 pounds of muscle while losing these next 30 or so pounds of fat, right? Ideally, be like trying to lose as much fat as possible while putting on as much muscle as possible. So I just need to be able to put on 5 pounds of muscle while I'm losing 30 pounds. So the thought is, let's see, if over the next 30 weeks, that's 6 months. If I can put on roughly 1 pound of muscle per month, because the general assumption is I'm going to be losing some muscle mass as well, that'd be great. That seems realistic. Whether it does or doesn't happen, we'll find out, both between the weight loss, fat loss, weight loss, general life stuff, etc. So we'll see what happens. All right. We're going to get into some rows. I like teaching this as a 4-step process. Oh, I was thinking about which way I wanted to face this. So without any weight right now, right, I'm in a good hinge position, right? I got something to help me stabilize. My arm is kind of, so not only is my arm kind of stretched down towards the ground like I'm punching it, but I'm letting that shoulder blade roll forward and up. So I'm almost a little shrugged. So to my patients, my clients, I like to teach this as a 4-step process, right? I'm gonna pull that shoulder blade in and back. I already feel my mid-back lighting up, right? And you can see just how much that arm position has changed. From here, I want to drag my upper arm past my ribs to my hip. All right, so it's a bit of this circular 12, like on my left arm, it's 12 to 9. And then I'm arcing my elbow to my hip. That feels good. It feels like a really solid contraction. Right? I get a lot of work, a lot of contraction out of the lat. So now, right, 20-pound weight, right? I pull that shoulder blade down and back and row it up. All right. I felt really kind of a good contraction. I wasn't particularly fatigued, but it just felt good to work it. All right, so same kind of steps here. All right, shoulders kind of disengaged. All right, engage the shoulder blade, grab that elbow up and back. That felt good. I think unintentionally, and I feel like I remind myself of this like every other couple of weeks. I think I get sloppy with my lifts that I've already achieved. So I think my squat technique got a little worse because of I've already hit it. Like the squat is no longer the main concentration of my workout that day. So if I'm squatting, overhead pressing, and hitting that pull down, I will still squat first, but I'll just kind of like blaze through it because I know I'm strong enough. I know my body can handle it because I want to divert more of my attention to my overhead press and my lat pull down because I can handle overhead press at heavier weights for lower reps for kind of what I want to hit, whereas overhead press on the higher rep ranges kicks my butt. So it's like, yeah, would I rather focus, like really like burn myself up? No, like I want my attention on my overhead press. All right, so we're going to try and do the same thing. Ballpark 5 or so reps at 35, 45, and then again at 70. So, boom. All right. Nope. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, one of the things that I had possibly planned for today was I used to do like the I's, T's, W's, and Y's, laying on my stomach. And I was thinking about bringing those back in because I'm like, something just doesn't feel right. Right? With my mid back, there's something ain't right. So, my right arm definitely does not work the same way my left arm does on rows. So, and it was particularly like I felt like my mid trap on my right side, all of a sudden it's just like I changed my technique a little bit. It's like, oh, why is this thing burning? So, we are going to jump up to 45 and 70 here shortly. One of the things I'd seen a long time ago was like, sure, we can do shrugs like this, standing up tall. Or if we just kind of hinge a little bit, we can also work on shrugs. It kind of hits that mid trap a little area, works on that shoulder blade squeeze. So it may be a little more of a pertinent lift than just that. All right. So we're going to move up to 45. Right, and this is where like it's interesting. Like I really feel like my core is engaged, weights in my legs, not my upper back, not like my low back. Right, big stretch. Pull that guy in. Row it up. So again, haven't felt that kind of muscular work from the row in a while. Unfortunately, when you get into those lower rep ranges, if the weight's moving, the weight's moving. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so same thing. And feel like we're nice and set. Core's engaged. All right. All right, one more little breather before we get into the 70. And that's probably where we'll start with the deadlift. And then we'll finish with a couple of the letters. I've also been up for a while. I haven't had much to. Had 2 cups of coffee, a chewy bar, and a cheese stick in preparation for this workout. So we're now, let's see, now by the time I'll finish, I'll probably been up for about 3 hours. And my body's having like some water and some real food. Sounds good. Okay. All right, so the other interesting that I noted with that last set was my left arm. Anyway, I've definitely had issues with my left shoulder in the past in terms of coordination, so I think I've practiced that side more. So my left side being a 4-step movement helps the left side. My right side being a 1-step movement feels more natural on my right side. So let's see if we can't make this a kind of 1-step movement on my left. Meh. 70 is probably too heavy for me at this point on the left arm. We'll see how we do on the right. Yeah, 70 just might be a little too heavy for good technique. And or for whatever reason this slump is at. I don't know. All right. So I might do some double leg deadlift, single leg deadlift type stuff here. I want to work on wedging to break the weight off the ground. Oh, pause right here at about my knees and then finishing the lift. And then doing the same thing with singles. All right, so, and this is where again, right, the weight here, I'm strong enough to like do whatever the weight, it's gonna come off the ground. But the question ends up being, can I feel this? All right, so boom. Okay, so this is where here, I kind of feel like my whole leg's engaged. I'm shaking, and if I wedge under, I just kind of get my butt under my body a little more. The weight comes up off the ground. I push up. I finish the lift. All right, wedge, wedge, right? The weight's now freely swinging. Come back up. All right, so now if we pack our lats in, really squeeze those arms in. Oh, all right, really squeeze it in. Nope. Oh, that burns. So when I go to warm up for my deadlift testing, you may have to go through that same process of break, pause. I realized as I lifted it, the weight was swinging back and forth, which meant my upper back wasn't as locked in. Okay, just because I want to have some success here. Back to the 45. Maybe a little scoot forward. Okay, so alrighty, so first step. All right, just getting my hip a little closer to the weight. We pause it, and then we extend up. Okay, now we set it down. Okay, foot is set, drop it in, cinch, nope.
But again, all that feels good. I think I do get into my head a little bit once I get to my working set, because everything just kind of falls apart. All right. Right. Nope. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's hitting the glute different. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's real different on that right side. All right, we're gonna catch our breath. We'll probably end up doing ballpark 10 to 15 reps of each letter here, and we'll call it a day after that. All right. All right, so lying down on our stomach, core engaged. So the Y went a lot better than expected. Interesting. Okay, quick breather. All right, we're gonna go into the W's next. All right, that's still feeling fine. All right, we're gonna have to move our foam roller. All right, again, catching our breath for a second. We got the T's, reverse flies, whatever you want to call them. And so again, abs tight. The motion feels good. Yeah, the left side definitely does feel different to the right, but it's not, doesn't feel weaker, doesn't feel more painful, it's just different. And sure, I did 20 of those, but whatever. Alrighty. Final set. And that'll be it for me today. So interestingly enough, but maybe it's no surprise, that was definitely my toughest set there. But I think more so because I've already done a decent amount of back work, and that was the last thing for back. Alrighty, if you did what I did today, great. You did your own thing, great. You're just starting, looking for ideas, motivation, discipline, or community to support you. It's what we're here to do. Help each other be a little better every day. So, good job today. Keep working hard. We'll see you next time.